Welcome back to Crafting Kindness. Today we're going to be using the Larimar effect technique course from ResinCourses.com from Majka, and we are going to be starting with a white layer first that I've made here with Castin Craft. For this layer here, you're really going to want to start with something that's kind of milky white. So it's still transparent, and when you tilt a stick in there, you'll see here that it's still really transparent. You can still easily see the stick through that white that I showed you. I'm also going to be using a variety of 3 different colors of resin inks from Octopus. So my first one here is getting mixed up, and for here, all of these colors need to be, again, transparent. They look dark in the cup, but they're going to be transparent. And I'm only going to use a couple of drops of each one because I don't want it to be too heavy for this design. So this design is really made with a very low viscosity resin. The resin that I'm using today is Liquid Diamonds by the Epoxy store, and I'll link everything in the description. It's a very low viscosity resin, but with that being said, it also can be demolded in about 12 hours. So it's different than the deep pours, because the deep pour low viscosity 2-to-1 resins, really you can't demold until about 24 hours. So they work a lot longer than these other 2-to-1 low viscosity resins that can be demolded closer to the 12-hour mark. So I've got my colors mixed here, and the mold I'm using today is the ruffle mold from Pouring Your Heart Out from Julie Cuts. I will link her eBay store down below as well. And we're going to start with pouring just the white, and the white should be enough to cover that bottom of the mold that you're using. And then I'm going to dump my colors from darkest to lightest. So I have my purple, my blue, and then my light teal that I'm going to dump. And that is literally all you have to do for this technique. I'm going to let it work for a while, really, before I torch it all. It's really important. This design does move quite a bit, and I'm going to leave this on a time lapse so you can see that. But for it to move naturally really well, you really do not want to torch it until it's moved in like it has already, and you start to see these cells start to form along the white towards the edge, which you can start to see already forming. So I'm going to also let this middle close up a little bit longer before I put my decorative center in. I usually wait about 35 to 45 minutes before dropping my center. Again, the purpose of that really is to not interfere with the pattern that's being developed just naturally from the resin moving. So I'm going to put you on a time lapse, and then we will return in just a minute. It has now been about 13 hours, and I've already felt this. It's ready to come out. You can see this nice big cells on the edge. The center's closed up. The striations are there, and it's just beautiful. Those big cells, those medium-sized white veins in there, and those thin white veins that are within those big cells are just beautiful. This ruffle mold from Pouring Your Heart Out just made a gorgeous design. That druzy crystallized mold, I think, really did an amazing job creating those thin, fine striated lines that you see kind of beneath those big, chunky white lines coming out of every single tip of those big star corners. And I love the depth of the color in the middle there. It's just beautiful. So thanks again for joining me today on Crafting Kindness, and look forward to seeing you next time. Be well.